All right, that is the Lorelei Hero Spotlight. I am PlayoffBeard, and I am joined now by Super Evil Megacorp CEO Christian Segerstrelli EdTheShred. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome.
So what's happened here is that Lorelei and the team, they've asked that we stay on air for about another 30 minutes just to make sure that Update 2.10 has propagated to the App Store where you are. Again, zero downtime deploy this time. You should be able to just go to the App Store and just play. But we're going to stay on air just to make sure everyone gets in the game before we leave. That gave me a chance to bring in EdTheShred, and I think the thing that, the players are excited about Lorelei, they're excited about Update 2.10, but everyone wants any last little detail they can glean about 5v5. I think you have probably been in more 5v5 playtests than anyone outside of the designers who are specifically creating the mode. What can you tell us?
Well, I will tell you this. My rank nearly decayed on live last week because all of my play was in 5v5 playtests. So yeah, so that says something. No, I'm incredibly addicted to a 5v5 already now. I mean, of course, it's still early. We're still adjusting balance a lot. But just the sheer depth of different strategic choices is something that literally keeps me up at night right now, because between the rotational strategies, and especially as a captain main, trying to figure out even where I should be at different times is really, really interesting. There are really good reasons to be supporting lane, really good reasons to be supporting jungle, and overall I still find myself in the wrong place far too often in these playtests, and I'm trying to figure it out. I really appreciate the help from the early PBE crowd telling me where I should not be, at least at the right time. So it's a whole new set of learning, and I'm really excited about it.
And a lot of our longtime players especially, one of the things they seem most excited about for 5v5 is like, it just freshens everything up, that they've been playing on this Halcyon Fold 3v3 map for so long with the one lane and the jungle, and just the potential, the possibilities of so many different things that can happen is something that's really exciting them. Even just something as simple as like, if you leave the lane in Halcyon Fold, okay, well, you go a little bit, maybe you went to the jungle shop. If you made a bad call, you just run right back up there. You leave a lane in 5v5, you're probably losing a turret, maybe more. Like, it's a big deal to make these choices in a 5v5 context.
Yeah, that's right. And again, as a captain main, like the thing that I'm most passionate about is thinking about objective control, thinking about how to play the map, not just how to fight the enemy team. And the thing that I like on the 3v3 map, I think one of the fun things about the Halcyon Fold was how the vision game in particular was in some ways so easy, and we did change things around, over time in terms of introducing the flare gun and changing a little bit how scout traps worked and how flares worked. But one of the things that I'm really enjoying right now is the evolution of the vision and the counter vision game in the 5v5 map, because that obviously has a much bigger impact on the game. Because in the Halcyon Fold, once you've played like 1,000+ games, you have a pretty good idea where the opponent is. At the end of the day, there's only so many places where you can be on that map. Whereas in the 5v5 map, especially how Zeeken and Ciderhelm are designing the objectives and the rotations and the incentives on the map, there really are multiple places where you could potentially want to be at different times, and making sure that sort of, as a captain main that likes to think about these things, figuring out how to sort of thwart the opposing team's intent, and figuring out how do we check if they are truly going to do that thing that I think they're going to want to do, and figuring out how between both making sure that we have sufficient vision, but also denying the enemy vision of things that we may want to do in the future. There are things that I love, and I really love the level of intricacy that game, that rotational game, is getting right now. And obviously we're still some way away from launch, but I'm really excited about that aspect of the map.
If you're just joining us, this is the Update 2.10 no downtime stream. You should be able to go to the App Store right now, download and start playing Update 2.10 already. Get Lorelei. Lorelei is on discount, 25% off discount right now. This is a hero. Captain Primary can be played out of jungle or lane as well. The hero designer Sonata prefers her out of jungle. Really strong, really interesting backline hero that controls zones, that adds utility, and then all the other things in Update 2.10. So you can leave this stream and go play. We are sticking around for a little bit longer just to make sure that it's propagated to the App Store where you are, so that you have someone to hang out with in the interim, a chance to talk about 5v5. And if you put maybe your CEO hat on for a second, we just released this pre-registration page, a chance to sign up, maybe get into early access, get some exclusive rewards. It's kind of a milestone.
It's a huge milestone, and we've been really excited about the sheer volume of pre-registrations. We had no idea, frankly. we're excited about 5v5, of course, but we just had no idea that quite so many people were excited about 5v5. I'm hoping to be able to release some numbers at some point in time because they really are pretty overwhelming. But overall, it's a big milestone. And in some ways, a couple of years back when we were on stage with Apple at the Apple keynote, we felt like we were truly putting out something that we were incredibly proud of in terms of setting the next level of expectation for what gaming should be like on mobile devices. And it's been an incredibly fun journey, with our community and players and watching the esports scene blow up and all of that. But we feel like as we think about the rollout of 5v5, we have the same kind of, I feel like this sort of tingly feeling of, hey, we're truly, hopefully going to be able to show the next level in general for the industry.
And I'm sorry. And it does feel like the design perspective, the Super Evil company perspective or company ethos is really like not to dilute this experience, but really lean into everything that can make a 5v5 MOBA feel like magic and trust that players on mobile can handle that strategic depth, that complexity, that intricacy.
Yeah, absolutely. It is about no compromises. We are not dumbing anything down. We always think about how do we take the genre forward in general. Of course, we stand on the shoulders of giants in terms of PC MOBAs and innovations even on the mobile platform. And of course, we think about how do we learn from all of that. But at the same time, the core philosophy of gamers are gamers, whichever platform they play on, and they deserve the deepest strategies, the deepest tactical choices, rewarding mechanical skill, all of those things, and keeping that alive and making sure that we really cherish that in our 5v5 experience, I think is a really, really core driver of the design decisions going on. So I'm, as a gamer myself on multiple platforms, I'm just incredibly excited about how the game is evolving, regardless of which platform it's on.
So pre-registration was a major milestone. It feels like the next major milestone is probably the World Championship, the global unveiling of 5v5. As you think ahead to kind of Vainglory's homecoming to where it all began in Singapore, the World Championship and the unveiling of 5v5, tell me what you're thinking about that moment.
Well, it'll be amazing. I can't wait. I'll be there, of course, and just being able to finally show, even though it's still work in progress, like the 5v5 show match will not be played on the final map. We will still be polishing a lot of assets, and I know that the animators and the effects artists and all of that stuff will still feel like, hey, there's so much more that we can do. I can't believe you guys are showing this already when we haven't added this and we haven't added that and all that. But it'll be an amazing moment to just finally be able to unveil what it is that we are working on, because at the end of the day, one of the philosophies from the start, which I enjoyed so much as part of our early journey, was working on this game together with the Singapore and Filipino community of players, saying, hey, here it is, we have no menu options aside from play, and the minute you guys jump on, we will jump on, because you know what, otherwise you won't have anyone to play with. So starting from that moment to today, when the 3v3 experience is relatively mature out there, but to again be able to jump back into that mode where we're like, it's not finished yet, we're going to show it to you right now, and jump on board. Get a, hopefully we can provide many people with early access and things where we can really shape the experience together and figure out what the meta should be and how to play this map. And working together with the community is one of the reasons I'm so excited about my job here, and being able to really jump back into that role at the World Championships should be super fun.
And it's pretty special, releasing first in Singapore our Kindred Asunder beta, putting something out there, not knowing if anyone would play it, if anyone would be interested in this kind of a game in the mobile platform, kind of the belief that the interest would be there, but not knowing if it actually would be, in the way that Singapore showed up for Vainglory, the way that Southeast Asia overall showed up for Vainglory. It feels like this is really an opportunity to celebrate that community and the Vainglory community at large at the World Championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so fun whenever I log into Southeast Asia to still have so many of the friends that I used to play with, like literally 3 years ago in the very early experience out there. And it feels like we really owe it to that community that helped us shape the early experience so much to come back, celebrate the 5v5 launch, really sort of, if you like, push the button together on, hey, this is the adventure we're embarking on together, and it's super fun. Yeah, I really couldn't be more excited. I do need to maintain my rank on 3v3, but I will play. I'm very excited about Lorelei, of course, as a captain main. I think she's amazing. She's very strong, but she is also, like, the thing I appreciate about her kit is that sort of setting up battles. It's not just about, say, if you're, at the end of the day, if you're Catherine, you wait until, you look at when should you use your silence, when should you use your stun, and then just generally knowing people throughout the entire fight, trying to bait them into somehow attacking you. But with Lorelei, you actually have to sort of approach the fight thinking, where are we going to fight? How are we going to play the next 30 seconds? And let me set us up accordingly. And that then leads to either spectacular team fight wins or really embarrassing team fight losses. And but I really enjoy that tactical decision making, if you like.
And for people who haven't played her, you can think about things like, you know, when you're going in the choke point by the gold mine pit and you don't want to get caught there around a blue jewel or a sky, right? It's the same kind of mentality where it's like, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, Lorelei will really punish you or really set up her allies for success.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so she's super fun. I'm really excited about her. But so I will be playing on 3v3 Live as well. But I'm just addicted to 5v5 at the moment. I just am.
Well, now you're just trolling the players who can't get in yet.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I also really suck at 5v5. I'm like, you know, I'm sort of somewhere probably PO is silver. Is my live rating right now. I've been to gold, but I probably belong in bronze, to be honest, more or less. But in 5v5, I genuinely don't know if I can get out of like getting started at this moment in time. It'll take me thousands of matches to even begin to learn it.
Well, but at least you can say right now you're probably one of the 70 or 80 best Vainglory 5v5 players in the world.
Oh, I am absolutely in the top 100 right now. Absolutely
right
top
now,
100 ranked 5v5 players at this moment in time.
Not too much anybody.
No, but it is. I think there is, though, the thing that I'm excited about as a long-term Vainglory player is just the opportunity for learning. I love the sort of trying to figure out the game. And with 5v5, with a much larger map, with all of the objectives, with all of the additional elements to the game that we will no doubt be talking about over the coming months, just the sheer amount of things to learn and figure out and new mistakes to make is like infinite at this moment in time. So I'm certainly sort of burning my way through like all of the obvious mistakes into the less obvious mistakes and all of that. But that just the opportunities that the larger map and all of the new things in the game will provide are just something that I think is super fun, just even as a player.
And while I've caught you completely off guard here, not expecting to be on the stream, is there anything I can get you to reveal before you have enough time to think about not doing that?
You know, not really. I'm about to walk into a meeting after this where the people in that meeting will not give me a very good time if I reveal things on stream. But we hopefully will have a bunch of reveals coming up over the coming months leading up to Worlds, because we do want to make sure that as you follow the show match game at Worlds, you will actually understand broadly what it is that is happening. And the game design, elements of game design are increasingly locked. So hopefully we'll be able to reveal some exciting things soon. I certainly can't wait. There is a lot to reveal, so and a lot of intricate detail that certainly the team has been working on. So
yeah, Shinkai already capturing footage for that. I see things on his screen every day. Go over to the other building now that we have and see all the artists and the hero designers and everybody working on all the 5v5 things. It's becoming very real.
It is, very much, yeah. It's super fun walking past the animator screens and other things where we're doing all of the new things, and it's good. Although I will say that one of the other things about 2.10 that I'm particularly excited about is actually the ability to support eSports teams.
Yeah. So I think most of you know if you've read the update notes, but what we're doing in Update 2.10 is pro team support badges. You can buy a badge. That badge will appear on the loading screen so you can support your favorite team, TSM, Cloud9, SK, whichever that team is, and that badge will persist through the end of the year. You can get multiple badges to support multiple teams, and 100% of the proceeds of that go straight back into Vainglory Competitive, go to support competitive prize pools, and go straight to the teams. If you open up the app and you don't see your favorite team in there right now, that's just because this is a brand new feature. We picked a select set of franchises, put them in, so we can take your temperature. Is this a feature you're interested in? Is this the kind of thing that you like? If so, we can look at expanding it or doing more badges, doing more interesting things. So make sure you give that feedback. Let us know if this is something we should invest in further. So if your team's not there, that's just because we had to draw the line somewhere. We're working on a lot of things, but we're very much looking forward to your feedback to see if this is something we should do more of.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you see me sporting a specific badge, that doesn't mean that I only support that team. I will also support many of the other teams. I will probably, rotate through most of the teams. I'm a big supporter of esports in general, and I love all the teams.
I might just, leave the queso badge up just so I can support the cheese.
The cheese deserves all the support. So it's good.
Absolutely. All right. So again, if you're joining us late, there is no real downtime here. If you're watching us because you think you can't play, you probably can. Go to the App Store of your choice now and attempt to download Update 2.10. If you don't see it yet, it's just still propagating in your area. That's the piece we don't really have control over when it shows up for you. So it should be any moment now if it's not up already. We're going to hang out for a bit just to make sure everyone can get in and can enjoy the game. But you should be able to go now. You should be able to play already. You should be able to check out Lorelei, the brand new hero, incredibly flexible hero, can be played in all 3 roles. The lore for this hero is amazing. Go read the stories, gives insight into the 5v5 map as well. So be sure to do that. For anyone who's just joining us, we will show the Lorelei Hero Spotlight that just debuted one more time right now and give our CEO EdTheShred a chance to go work on some things.
Yeah.
And then,
all of the things, my rank mainly. One ask for the community, please carry me. I really have played poorly recently. I apologize to all of those people who've desperately tried to carry me, and and I've really let the team down. So I pledge to play more on live now to make sure that I can feel like the carry in those games as opposed to the person that you have to carry. So
and for the people saying, why are they going to show the spotlight again? That's because that's the way that I can put the thing on the screen so I can go see how we're doing with the propagation of the app stores and so that we can release him without him having to awkwardly get up.
Yeah. one more thing. Of course, we will be forcing the update in a little while. So once we know that the propagation is complete, people can download the new version. At that moment in time, you will no longer be able to play 2.9. So we're testing out this new way of deploying the game so that doesn't require downtime, fingers crossed, unless we decide last minute to require some downtime.
But it's pretty cool that, when you think back all the way to when this began, say in the Singapore, the Philippines days, occasionally I would stay up all night as deployments went a little bit sideways and we would have 10, 11, 12, 13-hour downtimes. Now,
we've certainly learned a thing or two. In 2 years, a thing or two is not too bad, right?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so with that, we're going to take a look at Vainglory's newest hero. One more time, I'll use that opportunity to see how we're doing with the propagation to the app stores. And, of course, as always, thank you so much for supporting the game, supporting the community, being a part of all of it, and we hope you love Update 2.10. EdTheShred, thank you so much for taking a few minutes.
Thanks for having me. Get your friends to pre-register 5v5. It's really important we get as many people playing in that first week when you can get the founding player badge. And the easiest way to get that is to pre-register. So get your friends to pre-register. It should be super fun.
And maybe get early access as well.
Maybe get early access. Absolutely.
Get in the game. Get to see him. Get to play games against him directly.
Yes. I will drop out of the top 100 players of 5v5 to something much lower.
Much
lower. At that point in time.
Myself as well.
Absolutely. But see you on the fold, meanwhile, in Update 2.10.
All right. So let's take a look at the Lorelei Hero Spotlight, and then I'll be back maybe